To the world of 2024, I present to you Modern Hollywood FC. We start our story back in the 22-23 season when Erik ten Hag first took charge of Manchester United. United started off the season horribly, losing 2-1 and 4-0 to Brighton and Brentford respectively. They were doing so badly, people even noted that if United didn't score against Liverpool or Southampton, they would have to dedicate their goal of the month as McAllister's own goal. However, this is where United made a turnaround, dramatically improving their form. There was still behind-the-scenes drama. Ronaldo forced his way out of the club with that Piers Morgan interview. Despite Mason Greenwood's domestic violence charges only being dropped and not cleared, United still hadn't terminated his contract, but overall they were on the rise again. Ten Hag eventually brought the Red Devils to a third-place finish, a remarkable improvement from last season and qualifying for the Champions League. Over the summer, there was plenty of transfer activity for the red side of Manchester. Tuanzebe, Phil Jones, and legendary keeper David De Gea all left. Alvaro Carreras and Brandon Williams were loaned out. Zidane Iqbal, Telles, Kovar, Fred, Dean Henderson, and Anthony Elanga were all sold for a combined €55 million. Regarding purchases, Reguilon and Amrabat were loaned in. Johnny Evans was bought for free. Altay Bayindir was bought as a backup keeper for $5 million. Andre Onana was purchased for $50 million to replace De Gea. Mason Mount was, for some reason, bought for $64 million. We all know how that's been working out so far. And finally, Rasmus Højlund for a whopping $75 million. So with such a stacked squad, United were ready to tear apart the league, right? Right? Well, shoot. The Red Devils are in 6th place with a hilarious goal difference of 0. It was even worse in the Champions League as Man United finished bottom of their group with 4 points, scoring 12 goals and conceding 15. So, what went wrong? Well, I think the problems run deep, as even last season, which was generally considered successful, consistency was a huge problem for United. They would win matches where they were clearly the underdogs, and then they would get completely humiliated in other matches. Both new transfers and old players haven't been performing at all. 100 million boy Anthony was brought in and he's currently at 0020 in the Premier League, not to mention that he plays like a fidget spinner and his legal issues. Ten Hag also fell out with Jadon Sancho. He was loaned out to Dortmund and he's doing a lot better now. In terms of defense, Luke Shaw and Lisandro Martinez have had long spells on the sidelines due to injury. Shaw's injury in particular keeps forcing Amrabat at left back. I really don't know why Ten Hag won't play Malacia there. Mason Mount. Gotta be honest, I keep forgetting he's at United. So far, he's done just about nothing. I have no idea why Ten Hag went after him. United need a box-to-box midfielder, which Mount is not, so why did Ten Hag go after Mount and not, say, Kovacic? The midfield issues don't end there. Casemiro is aging and inevitably declining. Eriksen has been bang average, but in all fairness, I don't think anyone expected him to carry the team with his condition. There's also McTominay, who couldn't pass if his life depended on it. He wouldn't even pass a blood test. Rashford has been extremely inconsistent this season, always trying to use one move against every opponent he faces. Man's really taking a break after his contract extension, huh? Andre Onana. Need I say any more? To be fair, his form in the league has been passable, but in the Champions League, he was consistently the best player for every team except his own. Someone tell me, how is Martial still at the club? Actually, better question, why is he being paid so much? Martial is paid $250k per week, which is even more than Rodri. It gets even better when you realize Martial is paid more than everyone in the Liverpool squad except Mo Salah. What did he do to deserve it? Martial has had 2 goals and 2 assists this season. Somehow that's enough to be paid almost 5 times as much as Luis Diaz. Let's not forget, the moment his foot even touches the ground, he gets injured for 4 weeks. I mean, Ten Hag. If you need someone to be paid $250k per week just to sit on the bench, you know who to ask. The football they play really isn't dominating any teams either. Most of United's wins are by really small margins, and whenever they do, it's usually the other team that looks more threatening. This United team is so bad that even China could beat them. So United are desperately trying to break into the Champions League spots. By now, that could be the only thing that could save their season. But what do you think? How will United do by the end of the season? Let me know down in the comments.